All right, we're live. I didn't tell anybody I was going live, so maybe I'll post on my Instagram here. So I need people if I'm going to ask questions. Let's see here. Oops. Instagram. I'm going live on YouTube, so come talk about my newest upcoming course if you're interested. There you go. I'm live. Instagram. Sam, what's up? All right, we got some peeps in here. Hi, I just want to talk about the upcoming course and kind of what you guys want to see about some specific things. Can you hear me okay? Make sure the audio is all right. Should be okay. I got this new mic. It's like one of those Rode podcaster mics, and it's so much better than what I had before. Like the quality and just like how far I can be away from it and doesn't echo. It's awesome. I recommend. Hello from Pakistan. Hello from Canada. Cool. So, yeah, I just want to talk about the new. I'm going to make a Spotify clone for the music streaming app, and I kind of just want to know what you guys want to see because it's gonna be pretty long. It could very easily be very long between like building the whole UI and then implementing the whole music streaming process itself. Because I'm going to do Android has a documentation on streaming music, and if you do it properly, it takes a lot of code. So and then of course too, if you want to see like retrieving media from a server, that's like a whole different thing too. So just a lot of things. For sure, obviously I want to show how to like stream the music itself. That's a given. I just want to know more about like how much do you want to see if I'm building the UI? Like I'm basically trying to copy sort of what Spotify looks like. So do you want to see stuff like that? Or do you just want to see like strictly the music streaming stuff? Do you want to see me getting data from a server? What are your thoughts there? The more the merrier. Kotlin's a no. Definitely. I'm not going to be doing any kind of Kotlin for that. Yeah, I'm not using an API. I'm using just the I'll look it up right now. It's media controller compat. If you just search media controller compat or media, what is it? It's media service compat. So the Android team took a service class and they extended it. Yeah, media browser service compat. So those are the media browser service compat is the service that I'm going to be using to stream the music. Kotlin, there's definitely no Kotlin. I'm probably not going to be doing Kotlin till I would say like mid next year at the earliest, because I want to wait till like more people adopt it, because right now I would say Java is definitely dominant. I know that Google is like pushing really hard for Kotlin. You can tell like everywhere you look on their documentation, it's like even like they're getting serious when you look on the docs and Kotlin comes first before Android, like in the examples. They're really like just trying to hammer Kotlin, but I'm not going to do anything with it, like make videos probably for at least 6 months. Anything is fine. I just want to point out that I know a professional build these apps. Code with MVP or MVV. So I'm gonna start doing more stuff with MVVM because that's my favorite. I honestly think that's the best structural pattern. This course is gonna be just I guess you would call it MVP. That's the normal way that I do things. But moving forward, like when I do the REST API, I'm probably going to do that in MVVM. So that'll be cool. Make a course on talking Tomcat clone. I don't even know what that is. Flutter. I don't really know a lot about Flutter. Like all I've really done is download the sample app and then look at it and play around with it. I haven't really like done much, so I don't have a lot to say about it. The only thing that I would say is it's pretty much like learning a whole new language. So it's not like super practical. Like for an Android developer, they're not gonna like the average Android developer isn't gonna just go and learn Flutter because it's gonna take a long time for him to do that when he's already competent in either Java or Kotlin. For someone who's just starting out, it's a lot more practical because if they learn Flutter, then they're starting from square one anyway. So that's kind of what I think. MVVM with room navigation. I'm going to rebuild the SQLite for beginners course. and I'm going to do it using Room, obviously using the Room persistence library, but I probably won't use MVVM there just because it's going to be meant for beginners. So I want to keep things as simple as possible. App like Uber, probably not, because I've already done, so I probably won't do an app like Uber because I've already done Google Maps stuff, and it would just be me like repeating stuff like that. I want to do more content. Like I have a list over here. I want to do like, so I want to do the music streaming, room persistence library. I want to start doing things with MV. I'm just reading my list. Oh yeah, and then I want to do a REST API with MVVM and building a cache. So that's a really good thing that you want to know as a developer. Because there's so many apps out there that retrieve data from a REST API. They have a cache, so they retrieve data from the REST API. They fill the cache every time they want to go get more data. The first they look at the cache, and then if it needs to be updated, they retrieve data. So that's like a really good thing that you definitely want to know. Yeah, so that's my list so far. MVVM stuff, room persistence library for beginners, doing the music streaming service, REST framework integration with a cache, and with MVVM. So that's my list so far. Okay, there's a lot of things here. Hold on. I'm gonna open my door. It's really hot in this room. Okay, let's see. Hello from Kyrgyzstan. I have no idea what that is. I'm interested. Hold on, I want to Google that. Kyrgyzstan. I was in Russia. So I got some Russians. You guys are from all over the place. Most people are from India. Like a large portion of my audience is from India, but then the rest is kind of just all over the place. Let's see. Flutter and React. So React Native, I don't know anything about that either. I've never even done web development with React, so I have literally no knowledge whatsoever on that. So I'm definitely not the person to ask. Let's see. Yeah, app like Uber, no. Is it difficult, the UI of Spotify? I wouldn't say it's like super difficult. It's just time consuming because I'll actually, I had a diagram up, but I erased it. But what I'm going to do is I'll just describe what I'm going to do. I'm going to have one activity, then I'm going to have a fragment on the bottom, about 15% of the screen, and that's going to be the media controller. So if you open Spotify, you'll know kind of what that looks like. And then I'll have another fragment that sits above it, which is going to be interchangeable between two view components with the bottom navigation on the bottom. There'll be one view component that you click and it'll take you to your playlist. The other view component that you click and it'll take you to a search fragment where you can search for new songs. But yeah, it's not like super difficult. It just is time consuming. And when you're building these courses, you want to try and make it as efficient as possible and not waste time on things that people don't want to watch, because then they just won't watch it. So that's why I'm trying to figure out if people want to watch it. Let's see. Navigation with MVVM. Yeah, I want to do that. So that's actually something that's very high on my list for MVVM. So I want to do navigation stuff with MVVM and using fragments. It says that you want to see with Room too. That's a maybe, but sorry, I got a cold. I keep having to clear my throat. But definitely navigation with like fragments and MVVM. That's something I want to do. Planning on doing data binding. So Sam, I have a data binding course on Pluralsight, and it's really, really good. It's like, I would say one of my best courses, not only just because of the content, but because I put a lot of effort into like the UI and things like that. So if you want a free Pluralsight thing, just message me on Instagram. I'll give you a coupon and you can watch my data binding course on Pluralsight. More advanced tutorials. That's a maybe. I usually try and save the advanced stuff for like my courses, and well, that's what I'm planning on doing for 2019. I'm gonna save kind of the advanced stuff for my courses on my website, and then put like short kind of popular topic how-tos for YouTube, just like I did with the MVVM tutorial that I just did, I think a couple days ago, or maybe it was yesterday. Stuff like that. It's going to be like stuff that I can see there's a high demand for, but I can do like a short how-to on, where they're like 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes long. I'm not used to talking live. I'm like out of breath as I'm speaking. I lost my place. Data binding. Google Pay clone. No plans to do something like that yet. Lesson on Android architecture. Yeah, so MVVM is Android architecture. That's my favorite type of architecture. So that's what I'm probably going to be. I don't know if I'm going to do the other architectural patterns. I want to do, yeah, I'm going to probably do mostly MVVM because I think it's the best. I can't, like, on my channel, I can't just be jumping around with structural patterns, because then for people who are just coming in, they're going to be like, what the hell, this guy's using MVP, MVC, MVVM, and I don't know what these are, and they unsubscribe and leave. So either I'm going to do like standard the way I usually do it, or I'll do MVVM because I think that's the best. No, I can't speak Hindi. How do I manage time? That's a good question. So I just want to there's a lot of questions here. Okay, I'll talk about how I manage time. So I'll just tell you my day usually. I get up in the morning at usually 6, sometimes 7. If I'm tired, I'll sleep until 7. And I get up and I used to like waste an hour and like go on Instagram or Facebook and like just do whatever. But I've been trying to just start working right away. Like I'll make my tea. I don't eat in the morning either, and I just start working right away. And I usually work for about 3 to 4 hours is usually till about 10, between 10 and 11 is when I take a break. And then at that point, I walk my dogs and I eat. So that usually takes about an hour total. So I work from till I wake up till 10 to 11. Pretty like trying to really like stay focused. I don't really look at my phone much. I try not to answer like emails and things like that. And then I take a good break. Then I come back and I do another 3 to 4 hour block of time. So usually like 11 till 3:30. Yeah, 3:30. I either walk my dogs again, or me and my fiance, she's my fiance now, we go to the gym and work out for about an hour. And then I come back and I do one more block of time. And then it's usually around this time. And oh yeah, I eat there too. So not used to talking this much. I'm like running out of breath. I forget to like breathe when I'm speaking. So I go to the gym and then I come back and I eat, and then I do another block of time. So like 3 to 4 hours usually. And then it ends up being around this time, and I just had a shower and now I'm doing a live stream. So that's my day usually. Let's see. I'm a fresher. What do I do to become the best developer is the question. You got to just write a lot of code. That is honestly the key. There's no way around it. I think Android personally think Android is very difficult to learn compared to other things. I didn't know like a lot of other programming languages. Now I'm starting to learn quite a bit more. And since I rebuilt my website, I really think like comparatively, like Python and web development in general takes much less time to become proficient in as compared to Android. And I think that's for a lot of reasons. Like I think it literally takes like 1/10 of the time to become as good at web development as you would be at Android. And I think that's because there's just so much to know with Android. There's like all these architecture things. You got to know like all these different ways to retrieve data from places. You got to know about the Android SDK, which is always changing and always updating. It's just like there's just so much to know. So just practice. That's my answer to that. Nested JSON, room navigation. That's a lot of stuff. Work manager. I have no plans for that, but I do want to do something on that at some point. How do I use machine learning algorithms in Android apps? I don't know. I've never personally done that, but if I was going to look to use any kind of a machine learning thing in an app, Firebase has a machine learning toolkit, and it looks, I haven't used it much, but it looks super powerful. Like you can use it for scanning barcodes. You can use it for facial recognition. It looks really powerful. That's what I would look into, Firebase's machine learning toolkit. Yeah. Look, he says, looking forward to MVVM Cache REST API. That's going to be a really cool course. It's going to be really cool, and it's going to be really valuable because like pretty much anywhere, if you go to apply for an Android job, I guarantee they're going to ask you to either do a question on a REST API and a cache, or they're going to give you a project to take home where you have to access their REST API and build a cache. I'm like 95% sure that most Android jobs will ask that. Oh, I lost my place again. Game development, probably not. That's the short answer is probably not. Will you be developing the app on the latest Android X version? No, I'm going to be using the last versions of the support library. So if you read the Android documentation, it says that they're going to be maintaining the version 28 of the support libraries for the, I guess, foreseeable future. Eventually, they're going to dump them, but so I'm going to be using the versions 28 because some people coming into my course might not have Android X yet. So I'm just going to use the API 20 or version 28. Series on animation Android because it's really difficult finding it. I'm running out of breath. This is terrible. So animations are actually very easy. Like like I'm assuming you mean like fragment transitions and like bringing fragments onto the screen, taking activities off the screen, things like that. That stuff's actually really simple. Like if you Google activity transitions or fragment transitions, it's very easy that you can just define some very simple XML and attach them to the fragment transactions or when the activities come and go off the screen. Are you going to discover weekly which is what Spotify is known for? Not sure about that. Any plans to hire interns? I'm actually kind of trying to look for people to hire. Like I have a video editor now that I sort of do. I've been through a couple though, so it takes a lot of my time to like figure out people who can help, and it's just I have so much that I want to do. It's just so hard for me to be like to look for people to hire. Like I have things that I want done, but I don't have time to like filter through the people. But eventually, obviously, I'm going to have to. So I guess the answer is maybe. I think thanks for your response. I agree with you. It's important to learn how to make great UI UX to complex product about it. Yes. Something with ads. Yes. I want to do something with ads. I don't know what, but I want to do something with payments and I want to do something with ads. So I read my list over here for you just I guess 10 minutes ago or something. Ads or payments is probably going to come after those. Oh, and RX Android. That's coming too. Why you haven't created your own app hosting your videos, courses, and blogs? What do you mean? Why haven't you? Oh, you mean like my own app that will host all my stuff. I thought about that. I was just thinking about that now because I'm building this music streaming app. I should build an app because I have a podcast now. I should build an app that hosts my podcast or something. It really just comes down to time. It's like, how much value does that really add to my life? And how long would it take me to do something like that? It would probably take me like a month to do. And how much value would that really add? Probably not that much. So that's why. NVVM is the best. I agree. Can you give me private lessons? David Ahmed, yes, 100%. Send me an email. Tomorrow we'll start your private lessons. You're going to have to do a little better than that, I think, to get private lessons. Oh, actually, if you become a member on my website, you get access to the Discord channel, the community Discord channel, which I'm having a lot of fun with, by the way. If anybody in here is from the Discord channel, thank you. There's a lot of people who are like contributing and helping each other. Not just trying to like plug it and get you to buy it. I'm just saying like it's good. Like everybody's helping each other. I'm in there every day helping. And I also choose one random person for free consulting for the month. It's technically 4 hours of free consulting, which is a huge amount. I'm going to be dropping that down to like 1 hour because 4 is way too long. I don't know why I said 4 hours. But yeah, so become a member on my website or my Patreon right now too. If you join that, you can join the Discord channel. Oh, lost my place. I'm building an app in which user can take photo and then swipe to change the filters, but I don't know how to make this functionality. Swipe to change the filters. Yeah, so you'll want to, in my custom camera course, I show you how to take pictures and like add stickers and draw them and stuff like that. So adding filters, you want to, what is it? I can't remember. You got to change the, because you take the photo and you put it on a texture view, and then you can change the properties of the texture view, and that's essentially what the filter does. You can change the, I can't remember, but that's how you do it. You take the picture, you put it on a texture view, and then you can alter the properties of the texture view and the colors of them to add these filters. I'm assuming you mean like color filters. You might mean like weird stuff filters. In that case, if it's like weird stuff filters, then it's the same as stickers. You're just essentially you're drawing on the canvas and then you're saving that canvas. Congratulations. I don't know what for. You saved maths and schoolwork. Big love from the UK. No problem. What did I say? What kind of a project were you working on? Answer that. How do I get into Google? I'm guessing Google SOC, Google something. GSOC, Google. I don't know what that is. Would you pick Kotlin or Java? I don't know Kotlin well enough to like say it's my favorite, but I know it well enough to say that it's definitely going to take over. Java is 100% going to get the boot, and Kotlin's going to come in because Kotlin is just better. It's like literally a better version of Java in general. So if you have something that does all the same things and more and takes less code, it's gonna go. So I think it'll take time. Like it'll probably take 5 years, 5-10 years before it becomes like really mainstream. So you have time if you want to learn Java right now. View models, recycle a view and fragments nested in JSON. Do something on how to handle multiple view models. Oh, yeah, multiple view models. So basically navigating a larger sized app with MVVM. That's what I want to do. That'll actually be kind of like a portion of the REST API course that I'm going to make, because it's going to be done 100% with MVVM. Because it's done all with MVVM, there's going to be multiple views, so you'll get to see different view models. Good morning. Oh, I lost my place again. Coroutines, view models, live data, and unit testing. Unit testing, no, probably not. Coroutines, I'm assuming you mean Kotlin coroutines. If it's Kotlin, you're going to have to wait a while because I'm not going to be doing Kotlin for a while. View model and live data, I will definitely be doing lots of stuff with that soon. Damn, I'm up late. No, it's only 10 o'clock right here. It's 9:53 where I live. What is RX Java Android, sir? It is a way to, how would you describe it? It's a more efficient way to, I guess, make requests and observe changes in objects. And I'm going to be doing stuff on that soon. Do a tutorial on custom views. Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Can you create a translation app from language to another? Probably not. I appreciate your skills. No problem. What do you think about Freelancer as an Android developer? I think to be a freelancer as an Android developer, I think that's tough because for number one, Android is very difficult. Like there's a lot of things you need to know. And to build an app, you have to know a lot about different web technologies, like where you're getting your data from, where you're storing your data, all that kind of stuff. And then of course, if you're going to make an app, everybody wants an Apple app too. So how do you do that? You basically need to have somebody that you know or that you trust to build an Apple version. Unless like they're just hiring you strictly to build an Android app, then great. But I think freelancing specifically for Android is difficult to find work for. Finding work for web development, for example, is way easier. So that, I guess, is my answer to that. Suggestion for the intern hire thing: host a competition for an app and select the best ones. Yeah, that's a that's a good idea, but I don't really have use for somebody who can build apps. Like for me to hire somebody, it would be like video editing or copywriting or writing blog posts or website maintenance, because every time something goes wrong with my website or I want to make a change to my website, I have to do that, and that takes a long time. Those are the kind of things that I would be looking for an intern. I wouldn't be looking for somebody to build an app. So that's what I do. What kind of payment will I do? I'll probably I don't want to like get your hopes up or anything, but I'll probably build. I'll use Braintree, so that's PayPal. PayPal owns Braintree. That's how I accept payments on my website. I'll do a integration where you accept Braintree payments, and then I might do one with Stripe also, because they pretty much are the same. Just the APIs are obviously different, but it's generally the same. So I don't know if I'll do both. I'll definitely do Braintree. I might do Stripe. Background processing in 24 or so in API background processing in 24 or greater. I have a Threads course on Pluralsight. You could watch that, but background, yeah. I mean, my Threads course on Pluralsight will go through kind of using just threads, like the basic thread class to do background work. I'll go through async task, thread pools, and handler threads. So watch that course. Will you post this live video because I want to watch it again? Yeah, it'll post right after this, I'm pretty sure. What's the best way to learn Android from beginner to advanced, and also prefer Udacity courses or Pluralsight Android path? So the best way to become good fast at Android development is the same as getting good at any skill quickly. It's just lots and lots of practice. Like constantly be programming. Just get an idea and try and build it. That's the best way. I don't think there's no way that you're gonna like get around doing the hard work, because it's hard work. As for courses, I think I honestly don't have a personal favorite. I've never taken Udacity. I don't know how you say that. Udacity. I don't know. I've never taken any of their courses. I don't like Udemy. I want this to go on the record. I think Udemy is a shit platform. They do a lot of things that like you shouldn't do. I don't want to get into that here, but so I don't like Udemy. But I'm not saying their courses are bad. I just don't like the platform. So take that for whatever it is. And Pluralsight's great, obviously, but I don't think that Pluralsight is significantly better than any other platform. I think they're great, but I think there's also good courses on lynda.com. I think there's good courses on Pluralsight. I'm sure there's good courses on Udacity, whatever it's called. There's good courses everywhere. I think it's about finding the author, or because that's really the author that's able to teach you the best, the one that you kind of are able to learn from the best, and whatever that teaching style is. Okay, let's see. I think I said how to get in. How to get into Summer of Code. That's what GSOC is. I have no idea. I've never done it. I don't know anything about it. Email Google. I don't know. Let's see. I asking about filters, just like Instagram stories, where you swipe to change filters, try several approaches. Yeah. So normal color filters. Yeah. So I would watch my custom camera course, and then what you want to do is you just want to alter the colors of the texture view that the image is printed onto, and then you save that altered image. Yeah. I create a package inside a default package. Now, can you tell me while shared preferences, I need to enter like, wait, what? I created a package. Hold on. I created a package inside the default package. Now, can you tell me while using shared preferences, I need to enter like default package folder. So there's a couple ways to use shared preferences. You can use, so when you're instantiating, I'll try and be specific here. When you're instantiating your shared preferences object, so you go shared preferences, give it a name, say preferences, equals, there's a couple ways you can instantiate it. And depending on the way you instantiate it will depend on whether you need to use a key to reference like different packages, or whether you can just get because it's just a file. So the way to get a default application-wide shared preferences file is by going shared preferences, the variable name, which would be preferences, equals preference manager. So it's a preference manager object dot get default shared preferences, and then pass the context, which would be this. That's going to give you a shared preferences file that's application wide. So it won't matter what package you're in, what activity you're in, what fragment you're in, doesn't matter. It will get that shared preferences object. So that's how I would do it. What's the best language to develop an API? I don't know. I personally think, I guess I don't. Okay, so the short answer is I don't know, but I'll take my best guess at answering. So I would probably say JavaScript, because it's like probably the most well-known language in the world. So because of that, I would say that, especially because it's probably going to be a web-based API, unless you're talking about Android. You're probably not talking about Android. Either if it's not JavaScript, then I would probably say, I don't know. Yeah, JavaScript probably. My favorite programming language itself is Python. So if it wasn't in JavaScript, I would probably be looking to do it in Python, because Python's a very easy, very logical, very what's the word I'm looking for? I'm blanking on this. Intuitive, very intuitive language. So I'd probably try and do something with Python. Can the app be separated into modules? I'm assuming you mean the shared preferences. They can be separated in. Is that the same guy? Just check. Vishu, I created a package. No, it's not the same guy. Never mind. Can the app be separated into modules? I'm not sure what you mean by that. What do you think about Flutter? I already answered that question at like near the beginning of this video, so go back and check that out. Do a tutorial on optimizing an app so it doesn't eat up all the user's RAM. That would probably a better video or a better course or video to make out of that would be like minimizing memory leaks. But most of that stuff falls into the category of like if you follow best practice design patterns like MVVM and things like that, then you won't have issues with resources. Yeah. So I don't know about that one, if I would make a course on that. What about Lynda as a learning platform? Yeah, again, I think, I'm sure I've taken like a course or two on there, I think. And I don't know. I think all these platforms are mostly the same. Like they have relatively the same sign up cost. They all have professional authors. They're all great. So it's like, I think really what it comes down to is finding an instructor who is able to teach you the way that you learn best, I guess, if that makes sense. So going for an instructor, not a platform, would be how I would answer that. Let's see. Practice 6 months every day. Yeah. How long will it take you to build this app? When are you starting? How long will it take you to build this app, and when are you starting? I'm assuming you mean the audio streaming app. It's mostly done now. It'll be done this week for sure. So I'll probably start filming next week. And so however long it takes me, I would say 1 to 2 weeks to film and edit. No, not one. Definitely more than one. Probably 2 weeks to film and edit, I would think. So hopefully before Christmas is when I want to publish the audio streaming app. Udemy, describe your story on Instagram. I might do that. Not today. I'm gonna go after this live stream. I'm gonna go to bed. But if you remind me, I'll talk about why I don't like Udemy. What's your email? I couldn't find it. I can type that. Mitch@tavian.ca. I typed it in the chat. Google Vision API. I've never used it. Your beard is coming out nice. Yeah, I didn't think I'd be able to grow this much. I did I don't know where you're from if they do the no shave November thing, but where I'm from, there's this thing called no shave November, and most of the guys will go the month without shaving and kind of see how actually I think it's technically for men's health awareness, but I don't know anything about that. I always just try and grow this out and see what happens. But yeah, it's not looking too. This took me a month to grow, though, by the way. So I'm not very hairy. This literally, I did not shave for a month, and this is all I got. So it takes me a little while. Sam says Udemy is the worst platform in the history of the internet. I don't know about that, but I think it's pretty terrible. Their business practices are not good. How to connect Android with PHP MySQL. I actually have a very, very old video on that. I can't even watch it. It makes me cringe. But if you go back to like some of my very first videos, I do a tutorial on using PHP and connecting to MySQL. I think it's a I put up a host server on my desktop, like a local server, and then I connect to it using PHP. On which part should we concentrate more to sharpen our skills? I don't know. That's I think in general, like the best way to learn, the fastest way to learn is just to try and build things. So but I think it's important to be interested. Like just think of an idea, like a cool app idea, and just try and build that. I wouldn't focus on like learning MVVM, learning how to use Dagger 2. You're learning how to properly structure your code. Those things will come with time. I think just the most important thing is like find something that you're interested in and build that. Try to build that, and always just keep trying to do that. And then along the way, you can learn all of like the best practices and all that kind of stuff. How can I improve using more fragments rather than activities? Honestly, whether you use fragments or activities doesn't really matter. It's technically just a design choice. So whatever you think is the best and you like to use, you should use that. My PC specifications. I just got a new computer in the summer, so I have a sick computer. It has 32 gigs of RAM. I have 1 terabyte of what's it called, like hard HD. It's just like it's like an external storage, 1 terabyte, and I have a 512 SSD in it also. And my video card is a 1070 to 10 whatever it's like one of the newest cards. It's 10 GT something 1070. It's pretty good. Good computer. I love it, and so far no issues. Yeah, i7. Yeah, it's good. It's nice. Hopefully, the only thing I'm worried about is overheating. But the way it's designed, it has like when you lift it up, it has these vents on the side that like make it lift above, so it should stay cool. But we'll see. Hopefully, it doesn't melt. What should be the realistic minimum SDK I use nowadays? I don't know. I was just actually looking at this the other day. Just Google, like, okay, when you open up an Android Studio, I'll do it right now so that I'm not just saying random stuff. If you open, by the way, having 32 gigs of RAM is awesome for Android Studio because I programmed my Android Studio to use, I think it's like 16 gigs of RAM or something. So it's like much faster compared to, because it's usually like it just crawls. Okay, let's see. So if I go to this thing, so if you use API 19, yeah, actually even if you use 16, okay, so if you use 16, which is Jelly Bean, that's 99.6% of devices. If you use 19, API 19, which is KitKat, that's 95.3% of devices. I mean, that's huge. I wouldn't be designing anything for less than 19 probably, because I mean, 95.3%, that's pretty damn good. But it depends on where you live too. Like certain countries will have a higher population with like more modern phones or not. So depends on where you live. I'm gonna have to go soon. I've been on here for 40 minutes. Jesus. Let me see if I can just power through these really quick. Let's see. What do you use computer laptop specification, machine learning programming? I don't know. Whatever. I don't think it really matters. You don't need a powerful video card. So I don't know. I don't see. I live in Canada, and I really don't think you should have to spend more than $1,000 for a computer that you're going to use to just program on, because the video cards are normally where your cost is. So getting like an average video card is probably okay. Let's see. I'm just trying to pick out like a few questions before I go. You look great. What do you eat and how do you stay healthy? Plus YouTuber. Follow me on Instagram and ask me that. I don't want to. I want to answer that question, but I don't want to answer it now. So ask me on Instagram, and I'll talk about like what I eat and my workout habits and things like that. Java or Kotlin, I have already answered that. Called a hard disk drive. Yes, HDD. What Windows apps do you use for? I don't really use anything. I use Android Studio. I use a program for viewing SQLite databases called, I think it's called SQL Database Viewer or something like that. I can't think of anything else. I use Discord. I'm on my Discord channel all the time. That's about it. How about hybrid apps? Don't know. What are your thoughts on Flutter? I answered the Flutter question at the beginning of the video, so check that out. Thank you for your Instagram clone tutorials. I think they're shit, by the way. I just want that to go on record. I've thought about taking it off YouTube many times. I do not like that series. There's so many problems. I didn't plan when I made it. I just kind of woke up in the morning and was like, okay, let's build Instagram. Doop, 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 doop. Anyway, I'll leave it up because a lot of people say they like it and they find value. So, but I don't like it. Talk about OCR. Don't know what that is. What is code or programming difference between React and React Native? Don't know. I've never used either of them. Use API 21 or higher so you can use material design stuff. That's a good answer. Yep. Hello from Ukraine. What's the minimum SDK for Google Place Picker API? I don't know. Google it. Do not skip leg days. How to not skip leg days? By not skipping leg day. What do you mean? You just don't skip leg day. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering, when you first do legs, like your first leg day, you're going to be really, really sore. You're going to be sore for like a week. You're going to be barely able to walk. But if you keep doing it every week, you won't get sore anymore. So the key is to do it every week, at least once. Because if you wait like 2 weeks and then do legs, you're going to be crippled for 2 weeks. So not good. How you program Android Studio to RAM size? If you want to know how to program Android Studio for a specific RAM size, just Google it. Google how to speed up Android Studio, and you'll find answers. I was told in school not to use activities. Then I could use fragments because it was bad UX choice. I think whoever told you that is wrong, because it doesn't matter. Like whether you use an activity or a fragment, it's the same. It depends on what you're building. If what you're building has multiple view components that are better to be modularized, then use fragments. But if it's just one screen, it doesn't matter. So the answer is it depends. It's not you should use fragments because they're better. It depends. Okay, there's a bunch of questions. Spotify clone source code going to be free? Like, yeah, the Spotify clone source code will be free, but I'm telling you right now, you are going to struggle with that code if you don't watch the video. It's their API, the new what is it? Media player service compat, or media, whatever it's called. Their new API thing that they tell you to use is not intuitive, and there's not a lot of examples on the internet. So just looking at my code, you will struggle. So, but you can use it. Go ahead. Have I ever done a fan meetup in IRL? No, because most of my fans are from India. I can't go meet you. I only have a few people have messaged me who live near me, but not very many. I think I'm going to go. Just kind of looking. That's transphobic. What's transphobic? What does that mean? You're in Port Moody. Hi. There's a few people. Like I said, there's a couple guys in Burnaby. There's a few at UBC in Vancouver. Port Moody's probably there's one guy in Langley. I talked to him, but not very many. We could hang out sometime. I don't mind. I don't know what we'll do. We'll go and have a beer or something. I don't know. But anyway, I need to go because I've been on here for 45 minutes and I need to go to bed. So thanks for watching. A lot more people watched than I thought. I thought I was going to be in here with like 2 people. I got to learn how to breathe when I speak, because I find myself running out of breath when I'm standing here a lot. So Sam, I want to come to San Diego because I want to meet you and I want to meet John. So actually, I'm going to Disneyland on Boxing Day. So I think John lives like 2 hours from Disneyland. I don't know if I might. I'm going there for 5 days, I think. So I might drive down and see him one day. And maybe if you live close, we can do something. That's a maybe. But anyway, San Diego is definitely on my to-do list. But I'll see you guys. And thanks for watching.